Today's headlines and news stories about home prices are confusing to say the least and make it really tough to know what's happening in the real estate market. Some say that prices are heading for a correction, but what do the facts say? Well, it would help to start by looking at what a correction even means. And here's what Daniel Hale, the chief economist of Realtor.com, says. In the stock market terms, a correction is generally referred to as a 10 to 20% drop in prices. And we don't have the same established definitions in the housing market. So in the context of today's housing market, it doesn't mean that prices are going to fall dramatically. It only means prices which have been increasing rapidly over the last couple of years are normalizing a little bit. In other words, they are now growing at a much slower pace than they did before, but they're still growing. And what's really important to notice is that prices vary a lot by local market. Here in the Central Florida market, we are seeing a more correction than some of the northeastern states are seeing, for instance. But you can be absolutely certain a big drop-off is not what's happening at a national level, and I don't really think it's what's happening here in Orlando or Central Florida either. My name is Bent Danholm, and I'm a real estate broker and a market expert here in Central Florida. I speak with many buyers and sellers on a regular basis, and there are concerns about the market that prompted me to record this video. So the real estate market is normalizing. That's what we're seeing right now. From 2020 to 2022, home prices skyrocketed, and that rapid increase was due to a high demand and very, very, very low interest rates and an absolute shortage of homes for sale. But that kind of aggressive growth couldn't continue forever. Nothing like that would ever do. Today, the price growth has started to slow down a bit, which is a sign that the market is beginning to normalize. The most recent data from Case-Shiller shows that after being basically flat for a couple of months last year, prices are going up on a national level. And we're seeing a little bit of the same thing here in Central Florida, but just not as quickly as it did before. So why did the prices skyrocket in the past? Well, to understand the current market, it helps to sort of revisit why home prices shot up in the first place. The pandemic, as we all remember, brought on about some unique conditions. There was an extremely high demand because a lot of people spend a lot more time at home. Many therefore sought to upgrade their living spaces or move to less densely populated areas. I mean, they were working from home anyway. Why would they not want to move to somewhere where they actually wanted to live? This surge in demand for houses was unprecedented. Another thing that really kicked it off was the low interest rates. Mortgage rates hit historic lows. Some say we won't see those low interest rates for the next 200 years. I don't know about that, but that certainly is something that's very realistic, that it will take many, many, many years before we see the same kind of low interest rates. And that made borrowing cheaper and fueled even more buying activity. And then there was the fact that we had a very, very limited inventory. The number of homes available for sale could not keep up with the surging demand. This imbalance naturally drove prices really high. So now we're seeing a shift to normalcy. And I think because most of us have a really short memory when it comes to politics and prices, we forget that the growth we've seen from 20 to 2022 is not natural. And such growth really isn't sustainable. So what happened in 2023, the market started to shift. The pace of the price increase slowed, indicating a much more balanced market. And a healthy market doesn't mean that prices drop. It means that they grow at a sustainable pace. By the way, if you do like this video, please let me know in the comments below, and do follow me on social media for much more relevant local real estate news and information. Now that we got that out of the way, let's move on. So what do the experts say? Well, according to Marco Santarelli, the founder of Norada Real Estate Investments, the moderation in home price growth will continue over the next 5 years. I don't know if it will go on for that long, but it will definitely go on, in my opinion, for the next couple of years. Anyway, whether you see it as the growth will be slowing down over the next 2 to 3 years or 5 to 6 years, this suggests a more sustainable pace of appreciation or price increases. And it does not sustain a dramatic drop in prices. This shift towards stability is not cause for alarm, by the way. And it's, as always, with anything in any market, is all about supply and demand. Increasing inventory plus limited buy demand due to relatively high mortgage rates, and that's relatively high compared to what they were a couple of years ago. They're actually not that high if you look at the historic rates, but the rates will influence house prices, and they will continue to ease up the pressure on the prices. So what this means for you if you're thinking about buying a home, well, slowing price growth is welcome news. It gives you a little more choice, a little more time to think before you put an offer in. And let's not forget that the skyrocketing home prices during the pandemic left a lot of maybe would-be home buyers feeling priced out. A lot of people are still feeling priced out, but now they have a chance of catching up with the market. From the buyer's perspective, this current market offers definitely a glimmer of hope. So even though prices are not dropping, the rate at which they're increasing is much, much more manageable for buyers. This is particularly important for first-time home buyers who may have felt overwhelmed by the fast pace of price increases over the last few years. So let's not forget that housing affordability is still low for potential first-time home buyers. Slowing price appreciation and lower mortgage rates could help. That's the words of Odeda Kushi, the deputy chief of the economist at First American, and I believe that's correct. From the seller's perspective, the current market conditions are also positive. Even though prices are not skyrocketing, they are still going up. Your homes are still appreciating, meaning that your home's value continues to grow. However, when you're selling your house or your home, setting realistic expectations are really, really crucial. In this current market, because there's a little less demand and prices are not skyrocketing, it's not as crazy as it was a couple of years ago, homes are likely to take longer to sell compared to what happened in the pandemic market. And we're certainly seeing that here in Central Florida, in Orlando, everywhere in the area. Homes sit a lot longer, but the good news is if they're priced right, they do sell. So when you're looking at selling your home, it's important to know that real estate market is really, really microeconomic or really local. So the national trends, I can't say that word, trends to give us a broad picture. Each local market has its own dynamic. So if we stay with the big picture, some regions may experience slower price growth, others might see more significant changes, and there are factors that influence that, such as local economic conditions, job growth, and the available homes on the market, the housing supply as it's called. They all play a critical role in shaping the local market. So, for example, areas with strong job growth and limited housing supply will most likely continue to see really good price increases. Right here in Central Florida, we're seeing a moderate price increase right now, and we're really seeing that pricing your home correct matters a lot if you don't want to sit on the market for a very long time. So this is where a trusted real estate agent comes into play. We have the local knowledge and expertise to help you navigate the market specific to our area here in Central Florida. So whether you're buying or selling, an experienced agent can provide valuable insights and guide you through the process and help you to know if the house you're buying is priced correctly or if the house you're selling is priced correctly. So what's next for the housing market? Well, it's essential to consider several factors that could influence the housing market in the future. The mortgage rates, they play a significant role in the market, in the housing market. higher rates can really dampen buyer demand, while lower rates can stimulate it, and it can make it go absolutely crazy if they drop enough, as we know from previous experience. So as we move forward, keeping an eye on mortgage rate trends will be crucial for both buyers and sellers. The economic conditions, specifically the economic conditions of your local area, will also impact the housing market. So growth, economic growth that is, employment rates and consumer confidence nationally, but specifically locally, influence housing demand. So a strong local economy typically supports a healthy and fast-growing housing market. Government policies are also something that really influence the housing market, such as tax incentives for home buyers, or the Hometown Heroes program, for instance, we have here in Central Florida, all over the state of Florida. Local changes or national changes in housing regulations, they will definitely also impact the market. So there are lots of things you should keep an eye on, or maybe have somebody on your side to help you keep an eye on. So staying informed about potential policy changes is really important for anyone involved in real estate. Another thing that we need to take into consideration these days is the technology and innovation. Technology continues to reshape every market on the planet, and also the real estate market. From virtual home tours, which we got really used to during the pandemic, to blockchain and property transactions. Any and all technology advancements are making the buying and selling process more efficient and transparent to a degree, but it can also make it more confusing, because it can be hard to keep up with all this new technology for a lot of people. But if you embrace these innovations, it can provide a really competitive edge. So when you're looking at maybe deciding on a real estate agent to help you out as a buyer or seller, or both, it's important that your agent is also on top of all these new things that are going on. Let's finish with a couple of tips for buyers and sellers. Navigating the current real estate market, and this has actually always been a truth, requires a strategic approach. So here are a few tips I would like to pass on. If you're a buyer, this has always been the truth. Get pre-approved. Before you even start house hunting, get pre-approved for a mortgage, or make sure you have the cash. This gives you a clear idea of what your budget is, and more importantly, it shows sellers that you're a serious buyer, and your offers, if you make an offer, are much more likely to be taken seriously. Also, even though the market isn't moving that fast, you should still be ready to act quickly. Because what's happening is that the most desirable properties, they're still moving fast. So be prepared to make an offer quickly when you find the right home for you. It's also really still a good idea to work with a real estate agent, because like I said before, a real estate agent has the local knowledge. So what we can do is we can help you find the best properties. We can help you negotiate offers. We can help you realize if the price that the home is listed for is even realistic. And we can help you navigate the buying process smoothly. So when you're looking for properties, if you can look for properties in areas with potential for future growth, that will enhance your investment over time. For sellers, I would say, please price realistically. Setting a realistic price based on the current market conditions is crucial now than it has ever been over the last many years. Overpricing, even with just a few $1,000s, can lead to your home sitting on the market for a long, long time. Make sure you enhance your curb appeal. First impressions really do matter in everything in life, also when people are seeing your home. So invest in a little bit of landscaping, whether you're investing time or money. Maybe make some minor improvements to boost your home's curb appeal. I've made several videos about that. So just go through on my YouTube channel and you'll find videos about this. And stage your home. Staging can help potential buyers visualize themselves in your home. It doesn't always have to be professionally staged. Using the things you have can make a huge difference if they're used differently to really show off the potential and the usability of each room. But if that's not enough, consider hiring a professional stager or using maybe virtual staging tools. I would say if you have the choice between professional staging and virtual staging, professional staging in real life outperforms every time. And make sure you market effectively. Use a mix of online and offline, traditional and digital marketing strategies to reach a broader audience, but also make sure that your marketing speak to the right people, to the people who actually would want to buy a house and the people who can afford to buy a house. Make sure that your high quality photos and virtual tours are available. This makes a huge difference because I think the statistics shows that 92% of all home buyers, they see their home online before they even go to see it in real life. So if you don't have high quality photos, virtual tours, 3D tours, video, they might not even come to see your home in real life. So let's have a little finish with a conclusion here. At the national level, home prices are not going down. I don't believe they're going down in our Central Florida area. There's still good demand. It has slowed down a bit, but it's definitely growing. And most experts agree with me. They forecast that the market will continue to grow moderately moving forward. But remember, prices vary a lot by local market, and it is crucial if you're selling that you price your home right. And that's where we, your trusted real estate agents, come into play. So if you have any questions about what's happening with prices or how to sell your house, please contact me, because navigating the housing market can be truly challenging, but staying informed and working with professionals can really help you make the best decisions for your situation. So whether you're buying or selling, understanding the current trends and future outlook can give you confidence to move forward in the real estate market. I'm Bent Danholm. Thank you for watching. See you soon.